On this week's edition of Newscast, a local project in Madison, Wisconsin donates sewing machines to different international groups around the world. I'm Mike Trash, and we'll have that story coming up.
Daily chances of rain may impact your outdoor activities for the coming week. I'm Nathan Torres, and I'll have further details in this week's weather forecast.
Plus, this week's trip through the Newscast archives, you get to see a skit about the wonders of temptation. I'm Jacob Pyle.
And I'm Stacy Class. Those stories and a whole lot more can be seen on this week's edition of the Newscast on July 17th, 2021.
The Newscast is sponsored by Ron's Town Car and Taxi Service, serving Howard and Tipton counties. If you need a ride, call us at 317-385-0005. Your hosts on the Newscast this week are Stacy Class and Jacob Pyle.
Thank you, Steve Jeffries. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Newscast. I'm glad you could join us. Sewing is a craft that's been passed down through the ages, from mother to daughter and from father to son. Traditionally, it's also served as one of the few consistent sources of income for women, especially marginalized ones. Margaret Jankowski learned to sew from her mom. As an adult, rather an avocation than a vocation, it wasn't something she pursued full-time, but she enjoyed it enough that she taught sewing classes and created clothing for her first child. Jacob?
Sounds interesting. In 2004, in the wake of the tsunami that devastated Sri Lanka, the story of a woman whose dream of becoming a tailor was dashed after spending years saving up to buy a sewing machine struck a chord that resonated with Jankowski. Inspired, Jankowski made a spur-of-the-moment decision to find a way to get some machines to Sri Lanka. And that's where our report begins. Here with our report on the sewing machine project is our special contributor, Mike Trash.
Thank you, Jacob. Her original thought was to simply get a hold of a few used machines and send them on. But when she outlined her plans on the local news, the project took on a life of its own, and donated machines started rolling in. In 2005, the first shipment of 25 boxes containing toys, medical supplies, fabric, and a sewing machine were distributed between 5 orphanages in India and Sri Lanka. In addition to creating clothing, the machines were used as learning tools to teach the children an occupation they could put to use later in life. Since then, the Sewing Machine Project has rehomed 3,350 sewing machines to recipients facing a variety of socio-economic challenges, ranging from a variety of causes from war conflicts, natural disasters, to generational poverty. After Hurricane Katrina, hundreds of machines were delivered to New Orleans Mardi Gras costume makers. They've also found their way to Guatemala, Kosovo, and closer to home at immigrant training facilities and halfway houses for women trying to overcome drug addiction. As valuable as learning to sew can be a source of livelihood, whether you're sewing to make something new or repair something old, create something beautiful, or something strictly utilitarian, being able to say, "I made this," is an affirmation of self-esteem that can be life-changing. Nowhere is that more true than in a pilot program in Rankin County, Mississippi that the Sewing Machine Project serves. Inmates at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility began to turn out backpacks filled with reusable menstrual pads and undergarments for children in countries who often found themselves unable to attend school due to lack of sanitary items. Since its inception, Director Renee Smith has seen a definite shift in participating inmates' attitudes. They know they're making a difference in the life of someone else, she told CSM. To me, that's huge. The Sewing Machine Project, which is based in Madison, Wisconsin, accepts sewing machines of every brand. The only caveat is they must be in working condition. The Brothers Sewing Machine Company recently donated 500 machines, 25 of which went to Zalman International, a Detroit non-profit serving marginalized women and children, many of whom are immigrants and refugees. Jankowski currently fields 10 to 15 emails a week from international groups looking to receive sewing machines. Having started the program almost on a whim, she initially had no idea just how huge the demand would be. She says the funds aren't available to supply everyone who asks at the moment, but she hopes in the future the program will be able to expand to meet the growing need. As with many charitable programs, the parameters of the COVID-19 pandemic has forced a shift in the way the Sewing Machine Project operates its outreach. But here, Jankowski is especially hopeful. One of the many gifts I've received in leading the Sewing Machine Project is the opportunity to see not only the need that exists all around us, but also the creative ways in which people and organizations work to address that need, she said in their newsletter. Resiliency, bending and swaying in the face of the challenge, shows up everywhere. We adapt and we look to one another for support. Together, all of us are working to meet the needs of those who can benefit from the healing power of sewing. And while the transition may not be seamless, the Sewing Machine Project plans to continue its mission to make the world a better place, one stitch at a time. For the newscast, I'm Mike Trash.
Thanks, Mike. If you want to know more about the Sewing Machine Project and how you can donate your sewing machine for this special purpose, go to www.thesewingmachineproject.org for more information. And now, turning our attention back to home, it's time for our look through our community calendar with the one, the only, Tony Hernandez.
Thank you, Jacob, and hello, everyone. Here's the latest on all events happening in Kokomo this week. Tonight is the last night for it. Come on out to the Howard County Fairgrounds in Greentown for one of the largest county fairs in Indiana, the Howard County 4-H Fair. Tonight will be wristband night from noon until 8 o'clock. Show your wristband for unlimited rides on any of the Midway rides. Plus, at both 5 and 7 p.m., Lily Pearl's Square Dancing Tractors will be performing at the Northwest Grandstand stage. Plus, 4 on the 4 will be performing at the Pioneer Village, sponsored by Financial Builders Credit Union at 7 p.m. The Page Brothers will be performing at the Community Howard Regional Health South Grandstands at 7 p.m., followed by the main headliner, the Time Travelers, at 8 p.m., also at the Community Howard Regional Health South Grandstands. Visit www.howardcofair.com. Also happening tonight, Biomassive will be performing in this week's Riverwalk concert. Come enjoy some live music, local art, local food, and beer at the outdoor Riverwalk stage in downtown Kokomo, located behind the Fox's Trail Restaurant on South Main Street from 6 to 10 p.m. It's free. It's for all ages. Calling all kids, preschool through 5th grade. There will be a bookmobile, craft, and storytime event at Jackson Memorial Park on July 20th from 9:30 a.m. till 11 a.m. Find the Kokomo Howard County Public Library bookmobile in the park and join us for stories and crafts. Of course, the location may change in case of inclement weather. For more information, visit us at www.khcpl.org. The Kokomo Rescue Mission, in partnership with Crossroads Community Church, General Motors, and other area churches, invite income-qualified members of the community to come shop for free back-to-school shoes, socks, and undergarments for qualified students 5 to 18 years old entering K through 12. Students must be present with their parent or legal guardian. The dates and locations to receive assistance are as follows. Taylor Elementary School on Wee Drive in the Indian Heights District in Kokomo on June 20th from 3 until 7 p.m. Carver Community Center on Purdom Street in Kokomo on June 21st, also from 3 till 7 p.m. And also on July 22nd from 3 until 6 p.m. To qualify, bring the following items: photo ID of parent, legal guardian, student's birth certificate, student's social security card, student's birth date, and proof of income. For questions, call 765-456-3838 or visit our website, www.kokomorescuemission.org, under the Events tab. There will be a YMCA golf outing at Kokomo Country Club Golf Course on July 21st. For information, contact Lisa Gauger at the YMCA or call 765-457-4447. On July 21st, there will be a water spray at Foster Park from 1 till 3 p.m. The event is free and open to people of all ages. For more information, call 765-456-7275. On July 22nd, there will be a Tales and Tales Craftapalooza taking place at the Kokomo Howard County Public Library main branch on Union Street from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We'll be making animal-themed crafts. Masks are recommended, and we will be social distancing. Dress for a mess. Visit www.khcpl.org for more information. Also, on July 22nd, Coyote Kids is a 6-week completely free running program for children ages 0 to 18. It is put on by Club Kokomo Roadrunners with donations from our community. Races are based on age or ability, and each child receives a ribbon and a popsicle after each race. The 7th week is an award ceremony with pizza and trophies for completing 4 to 6 weeks. The entire program is completely free. Just sign up at secure.getmeregistered.com and search for Coyote Kids. On July 23rd and the 24th, there will be a one-stop quilt shop hop taking place at the Kokomo Event and Conference Center. There will be over 25 quilt shop vendors. The event will be taking place at the Kokomo Event and Conference Center from 9 till 5 on Friday and 9 until 4 on Saturday. Admission will be $5. Call 260-563-3505 or visit www.nancyjsfabrics.com/quilt-shop-hop for more information. Did you get all that? I'm Tony Hernandez, and that is your look inside the community calendar for this week.
Thank you, Tony. And now it's time for our weather with our rain or shine weatherman, Nathan Torres.
Hello, everyone. We have had a daily chance of rain and thunderstorms this past week for those of you that were attending the Howard County 4-H Fair. And the bad news is it's going to be continuing that for the majority of next week as well. But the good news is it will be clearing up by Thursday. So I strongly suggest that if you have any outdoor plans, bring a rain jacket and an umbrella with you. My forecast for today calls for a chance of scattered thunderstorms with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 68 degrees. Tomorrow, much of the same. A chance of scattered thunderstorms with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 67 degrees. For the rest of the week, chances of thunderstorms continue through Wednesday. By Wednesday afternoon, looks like things will start clearing up, and we'll be experiencing partly cloudy skies on Thursday. I hope you guys have a great week, whatever you do. I'm Nathan Torres, and that's today's weather.
Thank you, Nathan. We are going to be doing something a little bit different at this point of the show starting this week. Right now, we are going to be taking a short break, and the reason why we're doing this is because the Newscast has a new sponsor. But don't go away because we have more of this edition of the Newscast still to come. After the break, we will be showing an interview I did with Ron Souders. Plus, in this week's trip through the Newscast archives, we have a skit for you on the wonders of temptation. We'll be back with the second half of the Newscast following this word from our sponsor.
Hey guys, come take a ride with us. You'll be impressed. We got very reasonable rates. We're fully insured, licensed, reliable. Our hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to midnight. Give us a call for all your transportation needs in the Howard and Tipton County areas. We'd love to serve you.
Welcome back to the second half of the newscast. It's time for this week's special guest interview segment. And today we are going to show an interview that Jacob filmed about a week ago. The person that Jacob interviewed was a man named Ron Souders, who runs a local town car service for both Tipton and Howard County residents. So here from his office in Sharpsville is Jacob Pyle and special guests Ron Souders, his wife Amber, and their son Logan.
We have, as some of you may have heard at the beginning of, since last week actually, since at the beginning of the newscast, we got a new sponsor joining our team that will be sponsoring our show. Ron's Town Car and Taxi Service, and I want you to meet, this is the owner. This is Ron, the owner.
Hi.
And this is, what's your name?
Amber.
His wife, and then their son,
Logan.
All right. So how long have you guys been involved? How long have you guys been running this business?
We started out about 2 years ago as a part-time gig on the weekends and this and that. Then about a year and a half ago, I decided to go semi-full-time with it. And about a year ago, I went completely full-time. Left my full-time job, and here we are.
Okay, cool. So you guys have been. So you guys pretty much serve all of Howard and Tipton counties. Which I think is a great benefit to not just, like, I live in Kokomo, so it's like, it's not just a great benefit to me and to other people that live in Kokomo, Greentown, that area, but people that live like in Tipton or Sharpsville, Windfall.
Right.
I think that's really cool. So what do you guys normally charge?
It depends on where we're going, of course. We're going out of town, we got to charge a little more money, fuel costs and everything else. In town, our local runs are like $10 a run for cash, $11 if you're paying credit. Anywhere in the city limits, of course, of Kokomo and Tipton city limits. We get outside town, we have to charge a little more because, again, we got mileage, we got time, we got drivers to pay. Things aren't cheap nowadays,
True.
So as we all know.
You got to pay the bills, right?
That's it, bud. That's it. You said it. Yeah, we're just trying to help the community out in the same instance as pay our bills as well. That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how long have you guys been doing this now?
2 years part-time.
Yeah, 2 years.
I'd say 1 year we started out full-time. And
2 years.
We got 6 employees now and 7 vehicles, and we got a lot of medical contracts and this and that. So everything's going great with it.
I think this is a great benefit you're providing, especially to those that live in Sharpsville. I think I've told this story before, but I've told you guys the story and I'll share it on the video. But when I grew up in Tipton County, I grew up in Sharpsville. And back then I did not have a car, and there was no way, except for my parents driving me around and stuff, there was no way really to get to a place like Tipton or Howard Community. I remember my first job I had when I worked at McDonald's. I used to have my dad would drive from our house in Sharpsville to Tipton to work, and I would have to get up like super early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would have to ride with him. And then of course when we moved to Tipton back a couple of years ago, we ended up I moved with my dad to Tipton a couple of years ago, and then I ended up that wasn't such a big issue anymore.
Right.
But I just want to say, and I've ridden with you guys on a couple.
We appreciate that, by the way. Yeah,
thank you. And you guys do an excellent job. You guys make sure you guys get to take me to wherever I need to go in a timely fashion. You guys have been super polite, super nice, and you guys do a really, really good job.
Thank you.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate that. We're out there to help anybody. That's why we kind of base our service on the elderly in the medical field, and we're there to do more than just be a taxi cab.
Yeah.
We're there to go above and beyond for you guys.
Yeah. So what do you see now? What do you see like in the future? Like, what are you guys looking forward to in the future?
Well, we're working on a big deal right now, a big thing that she's been burying her head in for the last 3 months probably. We're getting ready to start running Medicaid. We're going to accept all these Medicaid contracts, and boy, it's overwhelming. It's something very exciting, but very scary.
Yeah, it's something that the community's needed for a while here.
Yeah, they're begging us to do it. In Howard and Tipton County, Medicaid is just on us about it. But same as a lot of red tape. We're hoping to be up and running in the next month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, well, now if you guys need a ride from them, how do they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of us Monday through Sunday from 6 a.m. till midnight at 317-385-0005.
All right, Ron Amber, Logan, thank you so much for joining us on the newscast this week.
Well,
Thank you. Thanks for putting our name out there, bud.
You're welcome. All right, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jacob, for that interview. Did you enjoy interviewing Ron?
Yes, Ron is a nice guy, and I'm proud to have been able to have the opportunity to interview him and feature his business on our show. I had a fun time.
Well, good. All right, Jacob. You got this week's Newscast Archive segment for us?
I sure do, and this week's Newscast Archive segment talks about temptation. If there is one word in the English language that may get to us, it's this: temptation. What is temptation? It's that thing where you are in a tight situation and you have the devil and the angel at your side giving you different options. Let's use smoking, for example. Your friends dare you to try smoking. One friend says it's okay and it makes you popular when you smoke. The other person says it's not okay, you could die from doing it later on. You are wondering what to do. Well, I'll explain to you all that it's not easy. But once you make the right decision and you stick to it, things will be fine. Back in 2012, we put together a skit for all of you which talks about temptation. I play a guy who has found a wallet and I have to decide whether or not to return it. Will I make the right decision? You may be the judge as you watch this skit. And here from 2012, to narrate the skit for us is Chris Henry.
And now, the newscast is proud to present a skit about the wonders of temptation. Now, what's temptation, you may ask? It's the desirable feeling to do or attempt something that is wrong. As you can see right now, there is a wallet with some money in it lying on the ground. Some guy happens to be walking to find the wallet lying on the ground. He picks it up, holds it in his hand, and looking at it in amazing manner.
Wow, this is a nice wallet. And wow, it has money too. Extra money that can go towards something that I've always wanted.
There's only one person that tends to agree with that idea: the devil. He makes people do things that are so stupid and so wrong all the time, and everybody pays the consequences because of him. Well, here he comes now.
That's a nice wallet. With some gold hard cash inside. Go ahead, spend it. Be happy with the things you buy with it. You found it, you keep it.
A guy with sense. I like it.
And then there's one person who doesn't agree with the idea. She's the angel. She knows all her rights from wrongs. The devil hates her. But he's happy once she knows that somebody is doing something right.
That is a nice wallet, but it's not yours. Maybe you should return it to its owner who claims it. They could have lost it. You could have actually went for a walk and accidentally dropped it on your way. Do the right thing. Return the wallet.
Okay, sure.
But don't listen to her. She's telling you something different. Listen to me. Spend the money. The wallet is yours now.
Don't listen to them. Return the wallet to its rightful owner.
No. Finest keepers, things are sweepers. You found it. It's yours.
Return the wallet.
No. Keep it.
Return it.
Keep it.
Hold it. Look, you guys are arguing over this one little thing. I need peace, quiet, and time to think.
So, the guy thought and thought about it until he came up with an idea.
I'm back.
Did you make your decision? Or are you going to get a wallet and spend the money that is inside?
Or are you going to return the wallet back to its rightful owner?
I have no choice. If I'm going to be stealing money out of someone else's billfold, I'm going to return the wallet back to its rightful owner.
Good job.
No,
Good for
no.
you.
And so, he made his decision to return the wallet back to its rightful person.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if you lost a wallet.
Well, yes, I have, sir. You see, I was going to the grocery store to buy some food that we needed, but I realized that my wallet had just disappeared.
Okay. Well, what did it look like?
Well, the wall was black and it had money stashed away in it. Why? Do you know who found the wallet?
I do. I found this wallet lying on the ground, and I was wondering if it was yours.
Wow, you found my wallet, sir? Thank you so very much for finding it for me.
Yeah, I knew it was the right thing to do.
Glad you did what was right. Thanks again.
You're welcome. What are friends for?
So, that was the story of how a guy had a hard decision on what to do with a lost wallet. He did the right thing. And what did the angel have to say about it?
Wow, returning the wallet was right there. I'm proud of you for doing the right thing.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, Dylan. I like people who make the right decisions.
Yeah, they're like next time.
And so, the moral of the story is this. Don't let temptation ever get you down. Just keep doing the right thing, and you'll have a happy lifestyle. And they all lived happily ever after.
The end. Let's take it back. Good job, everyone. You guys did great. So, as you can see, temptation can get very tempting at times. But as long as you make the right decision, like I did, you'll turn out to be a great person. Now, if you are watching this newscast right now, wishing you could be a guest on the newscast, or maybe you have an idea or suggestion that you can submit to us for future episodes of the newscast, well, it's easy, and here's Steve Jeffries to tell you how you can do it. Steve?
If you want to be a special guest on the newscast, or if you have any ideas or suggestions concerning future episodes of the newscast, or if you want to purchase a DVD copy of any episode of the newscast, send Jacob an email. His email address is jtpile1@aol.com. Or if you prefer snail mail, send him a self-addressed stamped envelope to the newscast, care of Pile Media Ventures, 2241 West Jefferson Street, apartment A213, Kokomo, Indiana, 46901. If you're emailing about a DVD copy of the episode, please specify the program date seen on your screen.
Well, that sound means that we have run out of time for this week's show. But before we go, we would like to thank Ron Souders for dropping by this week.
On next week's show, I will be live from Greentown at the Howard County 4-H Fair, where we will be presenting to you some of the fun and some of the games and some of the looks of a small town known as Greentown, among other things. That's coming up on next week's edition of the newscast, and we'll see you then.
And with that, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the newscast for July 17th, 2021. I'm Stacy Class. Jacqueline Lobdell will be your co-host next week. And until then, goodbye, Jacob.
Good night, and I'm Jacob Pyle, and for all of us here at the newscast, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
The newscast is sponsored by Ron's Town Car and Taxi Service, serving Howard and Tipton counties. If you need a ride, call us at 317-385-0005. This is Steve Jeffries speaking. The newscast is a Pile Media Ventures presentation which is solely responsible for its content.